Hello and greetings from my front porch. Here I am on what I call my Sabbath Fridays, although I have been doing some writing and some reading that's church related. It has been a wonderful day to be out on my porch. As you can see from the reflection in my window, the tree just looks great. It really feels like spring. I know that we've had such a late spring, and obviously it's the first day of summer vacation for all the children in our county. But it's definitely just a great spring day to be outside. I'm reminded of God's just great provision of nature and spring and summer and warmth and all that brings. I've been thinking about how as the seasons change and our lives change, our lives have seasons, that God does different things in different seasons. Those of you who get this video blog who are already retired would be able to tell us that life changes with those seasons, with those retirement seasons, and your priorities are different. I know many of you spend time with grandchildren and with family. Some of you go on what I call great adventures and travels. I live a little bit vicariously by watching your Facebook posts and pictures that you share. But our church has seasons of change as well. And as we continue to walk in a way forward, our church will change. It will change. I will attach to this email also just one of the new themes that we see coming out of the United Methodist Church. It's a new, I don't want to call it a campaign, but most of you remember kind of the saying, open minds, open doors, open hearts. It was, along that line. This is the new one, and the old one came out like before this, the 2000s. And so the new one is see all the people. And I'll share the video because I think it's a good reminder of a season of change that we're in as we move forward as the United Methodist Church, that we're to get outside of the building, to literally, get outside, to go where people are at, to see all the people. So this summer, our church is going to go on lots of adventures. You are invited to go with us. In this month's newsletter for June, you'll see there's a long list of things we're going to do that we're calling kind of our sunshine ministry, our terrific themed travels. These are going to get us out of the building, into nature, into other places where we'll have a prayer and a Bible story and a real hands-on application. You'll also see we're going to continue with Front Porch Faith. Those are opportunities in this season to invite other people to come to these gatherings where we'll have a devotion and prayer, but we'll have fellowship. And sometimes that doesn't happen when we're sitting in the pews. Now, one of the things that I've been reading has been just some updated church data and how church is in a season of change. Just 30 years ago, 67% of all people in the United States said they go to church pretty regularly. According to the most recent data, it's like 37%. So we've gone from about 2/3 of people saying, I go to church regularly for worship, to just 1/3. Now that tells me something. That says all those people, they're still around. Honestly, there's probably more people. But we're not reaching out maybe in the right way or in a way that allows us to see all the people. And so as a church family, we're starting to think about how do we get outside of our church doors? How do we become authentic and real and relevant and meaningful to today's church needs? To what does our church family, or what do potential church family need? So we're trying to think about and pray about and plan for ways that we can be church outside of our building. Church doesn't have to be inside the building. And I know that that's a huge change for many of us. I don't know about you, but I grew up going to the church building every time the door was open growing up. My mom said if the church door was open, we were there. We were there with the church people. But the reality is that church people aren't always in the building, and potential church people aren't even coming to the building. And so it is a season of change for us. So these are some ways that our local church, that we're thinking about, how do we try to see all the people? How do we find where all the people are? How do we minister to all the people who are in our church family in ways that are real and authentic and relevant and meaningful? So I'm asking you, because I know many of you watch this regularly, or at least, tap in occasionally. I'm asking you to help us pray. Oh, look, there's my 2:23 alarm. I've had it set every day to pray for the United Methodist Church for a way forward. So I'm asking you for a couple things. One, continue to pray for a way forward. We go to annual conference next week for our Great Plains Conference, and we're continuing to pray for a way forward. What does that look like for Nebraska and Kansas? What does that look like for United Methodists everywhere? And then I'm going to also ask you to pray about locally. We're doing some things locally this summer, and we're thinking about ministry in the fall that might look a little different or new. And so specifically, I want you to pray about Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. Some of our plans and hopes and dreams involve after-school ministry for children, a light midweek meal, some kind of a meal that we would have together with church family, all ages, stages of life, and a midweek worship time, a shorter worship time, but something that was authentic and real, and people could come to midweek, and it still counts. It doesn't have to be on Sunday to be worship. God desires us to worship Him, and not just in the building, and not just on Sunday morning. So Wednesday's good, at the park is good, at the golf course is good, at the swimming pool. All those places are things that we want to pray about. How can we as a church family move forward to see all the people? So that's my call today. As I'm sitting here on my porch, as I've been reading this morning, as I've been reading some of these updated data, updated research, I've been reading about this new theme of see all the people. I've been thinking about and praying about, we've been working on what Wednesdays might look like, and how as a church family that might make it more open so that new people could come, because honestly, churches are shrinking, and we want all churches not to grow because of the numbers, but to grow because we're, as Jeannie G said at one time, because we're thriving, because we want our church to thrive for Jesus, and we want people to connect with Jesus in real, meaningful ways. And so if it's not on Sunday morning, to start to figure out, when is it? Where is it as a church family? So today, I want to tell you, I see you. I see the people. I see the people in our community as they drive by. I see the people on Sunday morning. I see you as you interact with us through Vacation Bible School or Arts Week, or through all these different ways that we interact with our church family. I see you. And I want all people to know they are welcome in our church family. And as our church dreams about and plans for a way forward that includes everyone, and that includes people that aren't always just in our building, but people that we could reach out to, I'm excited about that. I mean, I'm passionate about that. So I want you to pray along with me. You might set your alarm too, if you haven't already, for 2:23. Continue to pray for a way forward for the entire United Methodist Church, and then continue to pray with us. Pray with us about what ministry looks like right here in Seward County, right here with our church family, right here with people we know who aren't part of our church family, but people that we can reach out to and share about Jesus and grow them in their discipleship in real, authentic, meaningful ways. Okay, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go back to reading and working on some of my schoolwork today, because it is so pretty. It's too pretty to be inside to work. It is a good day to be outside. I pray that God will bless you on Memorial Day weekend. If you're not with us in worship, be with us in spirit. You can always check us out on Facebook as well, or catch the worship that way. One last thing, be in prayer for those who will be at the Heartfelt Memorial at 3 o'clock on Sunday. That's a beautiful worship service where we honor and we dedicate the new bricks, and each one of those bricks represents a child who has gone on, who's passed away in the past year. And be with their families in prayer, would you? I'm going to be there to pray with them, and I hope you'll pray with us. Just pray collectively for these families over Memorial Day. And wherever you're at, if you're healing or if you have some special needs, let us know that too. We would love to pray alongside you and with you. God bless you. Your church family loves you. I love you. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.